Hello and welcome to this week's Overpaid Over the Bar mini league fantasy football video. I was hoping to do an interview this week, didn't sort it out. So you're left with me with another unprepared, possibly shambolic analysis of the previous game week and looking forward to the next game week, which is game week 29. And we're going to try and look ahead as well a bit to the future, although this is very difficult since the doubles, apart from in 33, are not decided. This week, I'm going to try and get my game week numbers right, but don't bank on it. Okay, so first of all, game week 28. I think I might have said 30. No, I think game week 28 has just gone, and I made a mess of game week 28. We can see here that I captained Cole Palmer. Um, and the thinking was behind this that Palmer would get his form together at some point. He's always getting a lot of chances. He's got a lot of chances at home to Southampton, and he got a lot of chances here at home to Leicester. Maresca did make an excuse for his abject performance, saying that he had diarrhea, which is possibly the best description of his performance that there is. It was very diarrhea. But he had lots of chances. He didn't play well. And so people were saying, Salah was no brainer. Don't understand why he wouldn't do it. Okay. But my theory was that Salah's not performing, and I'm sticking by this. Looking at the game against PSG, I mean, he had a good game, but he didn't play that as well as he can. And the previous game before the Southampton game, and in the Southampton game, he barely got a chance on goal except the penalties. Um, my theory is, okay, you're going to laugh. Salah's going to drop off. I know he consistently performs, pretty much every week, but there will come weeks in the season where he doesn't score that many. And I think these weeks are coming, and this is why. Okay. Liverpool have nothing to play for except the League Cup final. Now they've won the league; it's over. Uh, they possibly can break a points record. I'm not sure if they can do that. They must be in line for that because they haven't dropped many points. But what are the other players playing for except to help Salah at this point? And what is Arne Slot going to think about the end of the season and next season? Because at this point, Arne Slot's thinking about next season. It's his first season in the job. This season, he's won the league, but people are going to say, well, okay, it's Klopp's team. Yeah, with excellent tactical decisions by Slot. So at this point, Arne Slot is thinking, who do I get in the summer? Who am I going to lose in the summer? And why aren't any of these bastards sign a contract? Because that's weird, honestly. Um, so he's got three players needing to sign on: Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, and Mohamed Salah. Actually, to give Mohamed Salah his full name, no, it's not there. Usually, sometimes they put his full name. It's like four. It's a fantastic name. Um, so I will digress. You know that. So my theory is that Liverpool are going to drop off. Um, we're going to see them dropping points. Now, okay. Also, the other reason I'm going to do it is that I want to. The bit in the season I enjoyed the most was when I got rid of Haaland and everyone else had Haaland. Okay, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to drop Salah. It's a good time to do it. He hasn't got a game this week, and he's not the best captain choice in the following weeks either, because other players will look at other players and their fixtures. So I'm going to do it not necessarily this week, but game week 30, and let's see what happens. Okay, so the other matches at the weekend, apart from Liverpool and Chelsea, a great win by Nottingham Forest. I predicted Man City to win that. Actually, on the video, I said if both teams turn up, it could be a draw, which uh, was the kind of analysis that you expect from me, very incisive. And Forest and Man City kind of both turned up, but Forest just were very defensive, like they have been all season, and they did very well to beat Manchester City. Um, and let's see how Forest go for the rest of the season. It could be that they keep going the whole season. I mean, they have something to play for. Brighton beat Fulham. Yeah. The other matches of any interest. Well, Aston Villa are getting a bit of form now. They're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League and they won at Brentford. That's a great result. Wolves are not really doing it, and they don't really need to either. They're kind of safe. It's difficult to back Wolves, but they're playing Southampton in game week 29. Manchester United Arsenal. I didn't see this game. I'm told that Man United played better than Arsenal. I don't know if that's true. I can't remember who said that. And Spurs failed to beat Bournemouth, who obviously are a really good team. Um, and I did see a bit. Oh, I've lost my subscriptions run out on my Premier League. Um, I pay about 160 a year, and they put it up to 180. And I'm just wondering if I don't pay it for a couple of weeks, so they kind of come back with a better offer because it's a lot of money for me to pay, and there's only a few weeks of the season left. So I'm thinking, can I see matches in another way, either by going out or staying at home? So I might not see as much football or keep up with as much football as I normally do. Just a heads up for the two people that watch this channel. That's Keith and Adam. Okay, so uh, fixtures. We're heading for blank week 29. There are two fixtures missing. So some people do not have a full team for this game week. If you don't have a full team, don't worry. If you can put out 10 players or even nine, I don't think you should worry too much. You might want to play your free hit, but then if you play your free hit this week, who do you target? Yeah, I mean, who's an obvious point scorer this week? Are Wolves at Southampton obvious? I don't think so. Are Man City home to Brighton obvious? I don't think so. Everton West Ham? No idea. Forest at Ipswich? Possibly. I mean, you'd probably get in three Forest. You'd probably get in three Man City. You'd probably get in a couple of Wolves players. Apart from that, Man United at Leicester, you'd get in Fernandes if you were playing a free hit. I mean, you would get him in. But would you get in a Man United defender against Leicester? I don't know. So yeah, there's a free hit team, but I don't think it's guaranteed to outscore the other teams that greatly. So for me, if I hadn't done what I have done, which is make sure I have 11 players for this game week, I don't know if I would play a free hit. I'd probably put out 9 or 10 players. But anyway, um, some of us have a full team for this free hit, some of us don't. But if you don't have it, I honestly wouldn't worry that much. Um, there will be opportunities to use the free hit in the following game weeks, which could be a lot more, although we don't know yet. They could be a lot more useful weeks to play the free hit than that one. So people are talking about getting Erling Haaland. He's got Brighton at home, and then in game week 30, he's got Leicester at home. And in game week 31, he's playing at Old Trafford where he loves to score. In game week 32, which is a double for Newcastle and Palace, he's got Palace at home. And then in game week 33, he will most likely, I think it's something like 80% likelihood because of FA Cup results. Even if Man City don't go through, their opponents probably will. Their possible opponents in the semi-final probably will. So in that game week, 33, they're probably going to have Everton away, and the fixture from 34 will be moved to 33, which is Aston Villa at home. Not a banker, but two fixtures. So people are talking about getting in Haaland, either for, well, probably for Cole Palmer, I'm assuming. If they don't have money elsewhere, that's where you go, get the money from Palmer. Who do you get in from Manchester City if you don't get in Haaland, or if you do and you want someone else? That's a really hard question, isn't it? Like what other players do you get in from City at the minute? Nobody's really doing it. Savini's not really doing it. Doku's certainly not. Marmoush is not really, since his hat trick, hasn't really picked up points. Foden isn't even necessarily starting. It's a real gamble. If you go for Manchester City players this week or next week, but probably Guardiola is probably the best pick of them all. If you have Guardiola, don't sell him. If you don't have him, he could be a good, definitely worth picking up for this week or next week. So that's one thing. That's one way you can shake up your team. The other one, the other interesting one for the coming weeks is Crystal Palace. So Crystal Palace don't play this week, game week 29, because it's a blank. The week after, Crystal Palace have Southampton away. And they've got a good defense, and they've got that guy in defense. Is it Munoz in defense, who's absolutely brilliant football player and basically an attacker. He basically plays an attack on the right wing, I think it is. Yeah. So that's in game week 30. They've got Southampton. And then in game week 31, they have Brighton. And then in game week 32, they have a double of Manchester City and Newcastle United. Now, those games are both away from home, but it is a double in 32. So the Southampton fixture means you should go early if you're getting Palace, I think. And I don't know how many you'd need. With that double, that's a hard double. I mean, if you're getting in Eze or Mateta, I don't know how many you're expecting them to score against Manchester City or Newcastle, but they're a very good team, Palace. You never know. And they did finish the season amazingly well last season. And they look like doing it again this season. They're already on a very good run. So that's one team that you might want to target. Um, Liverpool, the Liverpool assets are actually not looking great apart from Salah at the moment because of their fixtures. They don't have one this week. And after that, they're not bankers. So I think Salah's the only one because the forward line is shifting around still. And Jota's back fit, which causes problems for Gakpo and for Diaz. And then defensively, they do let in goals, Liverpool. They let in silly goals. And it is, every time I watch Liverpool, I think Konate is a brilliant centre back and Virgil van Dijk is not. I don't know if it's just this season, or it's just this time of the season. But I can't, every time I watch Van Dijk, he's doing something silly. Konate's solid. He's like, I mean, look, Virgil van Dijk's way better on the ball than Konate. I know Konate loves those long sweeping passes forward, but Van Dijk's way better on the ball than Konate, and he's obviously a big leader of the team, so he offers something that Konate probably doesn't. But I don't know. Liverpool defensively are not that great this season, and they've got Robertson who's a bit past it, and they've got Tsimikas who's not quite good enough, in my opinion, as a defender. So they're kind of going through a bit of a transition phase. That's their biggest challenge, I think, in the close season. If they lose Van Dijk, they need to strengthen defensively. Even if they don't lose him, they need to strengthen defensively, I think. Anyway, it's enough Liverpool chat. You know, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I mean, I kind of feel like I am sometimes. I really love, I love it when they do well. So, Arsenal for our Arsenal viewer. So it's hard to read Arsenal at the minute. They battered PSV away, but it's PSV. Then they draw with Manchester United. Obviously, they're still in the Champions League and they have Real Madrid in the next round, which is honestly mouth-watering, even though people might think Real Madrid are going to easily beat them or at least, beat them some way, which they always do. That could be a really good game of football. Arsenal control a game in a way that Real Madrid don't actually. Real Madrid, I mean, if you look at Tchouaméni last night, I watched the Atleti game, Madrid against Atleti last night, and Tchouaméni in midfield, he's all over the place. He's giving up space. Atletico Madrid could have won this game. I mean, they could have won it. They very much had enough threat and enough. I mean, they've got this player in. I can't believe Simeone. He's so good with central midfield players. He's got this player, Argentinian central midfield player, who's like 30 years old. He played for Udinese before he played for Atletico Madrid. He's called De Paul or something like that, or Paul or something. His surname, Paul. He's absolutely brilliant football player. I was watching, he's just running the game. But of course, they ended up going out on penalties to Real Madrid. A weird penalty that Julian Alvarez seemed to sort of scuff. I think it hit one foot and then the other, so it was disallowed. It didn't seem to on real time, but I think that's what happened. He hit the ball onto his left foot when he hit it with his right because he slipped. It looked like a great penalty because it went at the top of the net. Anyway, Arsenal Real Madrid in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I just think there's a chance Arsenal. I mean, it's two legs. One leg you'd fancy Arsenal. Two legs you've got to fancy Madrid more, obviously, because they find a way, as the cliche goes now. It's a cliche. It's become a football cliche because they do it every year and people say it every year. Um, but I don't like the Real Madrid team in terms of its structure, and they're not doing well in the Spanish league. They slipped very badly from leading to second or third place now. Barcelona are top of that league, and Atletico also very close to Madrid, if not ahead of them. So I do give Arsenal a chance in that quarterfinal. I think it's going to be an amazing. I don't think it's going to be great to watch in terms of chances. I think Arsenal will do what they do when they play Man City. I think they'll just shut the game down. But they've got players that are capable of doing that. And can Saka be back for that tie? Because we've got an international break now, everybody. So next week, the 22nd of March, Saturday, we have an international break and we don't play again until Tuesday, 1st of April. So there's a gap of 10 days between Premier League fixtures. So game 29 is this weekend, Saturday, 15th of March. Game week 30 is Tuesday, the 1st of April. So that is a long time. Now, you can have injuries. You can have all kinds of things happening in international breaks are known for that anyway. There's an FA Cup schedule on the weekend before the 1st of April. So it's not 10 days, it's more than that. Wait, it is, wow, it's 15. Wow, it's 16 days. Excuse my maths. It's 16 days, possibly 17. 16 days between game weeks. That's mad, isn't it? So it's more than 2 weeks. That's the kind of brilliant logic you come here for. So it's a long time. So after this blank game week, you need to forget all about fantasy football, like me, and get a life, like me. I mean, don't do it like me. So that is it for today. I don't think I've got anything else to say. There'll be a lot. We'll know a lot more by this game week 30 deadline, I hope. I don't know how much we will know. I think it's game week 31 where we find out we will find out the FA Cup semi-finalists by the game week 30 deadline. So we'll know a lot more about the blanks and doubles that are to come by game week 30. Okay. So that is the one where we're going to have to do a proper video. We've got time to plan it. I want two people on the video with me. I want a threesome. That's what I'm dreaming of. And we can do that the week on that week. So possibly on the Sunday previous to the 1st of April. So if you want to be on that threesome, you want to get in on the action, send me a message or put a comment underneath the video. Like the video, please, if you liked it. If you didn't like it, dislike it. You can do a dislike to show me that you listened this far, which will be just as rewarding for me. Um, and I will see you in 2 weeks, nearly. Yeah, 2 weeks time. Be good. Um, if your team loses, don't cry. Exeter City look like they're avoiding relegation. Yes, 2 wins to keep us away from that zone. Come on, the Grecians. See you next time. Bye bye.